I do not sell or promote the sale of any of these products. These videos are for educational purposes only.
Right now, underneath our streets, a hidden crisis is burning. Every single week in the United Kingdom, consumers throw away 6.3 million single-use or rechargeable vapes. 6.3 million every single week. That is 90 vapes tossed into the trash every minute. 2 every single second. But this isn't just a story about plastic litter. This is a story about highly volatile, highly reactive chemical energy. Inside every single one of those discarded vapes sits a lithium-ion battery, and right now those batteries are acting as accidental, improvised, explosive devices in our waste system. What you are looking at, it's not a freak accident. It is a direct result of physics. When a standard council dust cart collects your household rubbishes, it uses heavy hydraulic compactors to crush the waste. But when those steel blades crush a vape, they puncture the soft silver pouch surrounding the lithium core. The result? An immediate internal short circuit. Oxygen mixes with the volatile chemicals, a phenomenon known as thermal runaway. Within seconds, fire erupts that can instantly reach temperatures of up to 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That is roughly 2,700 degrees Celsius. That's hot enough to melt steel. Hot enough to completely destroy a 300,000 pound bin lorry on an ordinary residential street. Waste fires in the UK have skyrocketed, costing our economy over £1 billion every single year. So why is this happening? Why can't our local councils just collect these devices, separate them, and then send them to a specialised recycler to recover the precious lithium? The answer is a mix of broken logistics. When you look at these devices, they are cheap. They're colourful, it feels disposable, but inside there's a highly complex matrix of hazardous electronic waste. First, we have the outer casing. This is made of heat-stabilised plastic. When left in nature, it doesn't biodegrade, it fractures. It becomes microplastic. Next, we have the absorbent sponge. This is completely saturated with a residual e-liquid that contains highly concentrated nicotine. In a landfill or washed into a storm drain, that nicotine leaches directly into our freshwater ecosystems. Nicotine is a powerful neurotoxin. It kills aquatic microorganisms, destabilizing the absolute base of our river food chains. And finally, we have the battery itself. As this battery casing rusts, it oxidizes aggressively. It stains the topsoil, leaking heavy metals like cobalt, nickel, and toxic lithium salts directly into our localized groundwater tables. This is a permanent environmental scar. And the tragedy is we are throwing away a resource we desperately need. The lithium we discard in vapes every year is enough to power roughly 10,000 electric vehicle batteries. We are literally burying our green transition in the mud. Let's address the most obvious question. Why can't your local council just sort this out? Why can't they just put a dedicated battery box on the side of every recycling lorry? Sounds simple, but logistically, it is a total nightmare. The waste industry calls this the first mile problem. First, there is the issue of contamination. If a council asks residents to put vapes in a separate bag, people inevitably throw food waste, wet plastic, and general trash onto it. One leaky bin bag can ruin an entire batch of electronics. Secondly, look at our current municipal fleets. Standard waste trucks are massive, single-chamber compactors. To collect vapes safely at the curbside, councils would need to buy entirely new trucks or retrofit existing ones with specialised external fireproof battery cages. In the current economic climate, local authorities simply do not have the capital budget for this. But let's say the council somehow get them to a local depot. What then? They can't just throw a whole vape into a standard industrial e-waste shredder. The friction and sparks from those giant metal teeth would detonate the lithium instantly, blowing up the multi-million-pound facility. That means every single vape must be dismantled by hand. A human worker has to take pliers, crack open the glue plastic shell, cut the soldered copper wires, separate the toxic nicotine pod, and isolate the battery. Think about the economics of that. A single disposable vape contains less than 0.15 milligrams of lithium. Paying manual labour to extract 0.15 grams of metal from a 50p plastic tube is a complete financial impossibility. Right now, specialised metallurgical recyclers do not buy vapes from the councils. Instead, they charge councils a massive processing fee. This is known as a gate fee. For cash-strapped local council, doing the right thing means accurately draining millions of pounds away from social care, schools and road repairs. The free market is actively penalising them for recycling. But here's the twist you probably didn't see coming. This was never supposed to be the council's problem in the first place. Let's talk about the law. Under the UK Waste Electrical and Electronics Equipment Regulations and the Waste Batteries Regulations, the financial burden belongs entirely to the corporations. By law, any retailer that sells portable batteries or vapes must provide a free, visible, in-store recycling box for consumers. You don't have to buy anything to use it, you can just walk in and drop them off. The law says the shops must take them. But let's look at the reality. Independent data shows that if you walk into a major supermarket, there is 43% chance you won't be able to find the vape bin. If you walk into a local convenience store or a corner shop, that failure rate jumps to over 60%. The bins are missing. They are hidden in the counters or in an aisle, or the staff have no idea they even exist. So where is the money going every time a vape brand imports a device in the UK? They are legally forced to pay an environmental levy based on product weight. Vapes are tracked under their own strict category, Category 15. This money is paid into massive organisations called producer compliance schemes. These schemes hold millions of pounds meant for one specific purpose: to fund the collection and safe recycling of the e-waste. The money is there, the laws are there. The missing link is the physical infrastructure to actually go and get them, and that is where the opportunity lies. Consumers are still buying millions of reusable pod kits. This directly exposes the newest loophole. Corporate loophole goes even deeper than missing recycling bins. Since the government implemented the strict single-use vape ban, the industry had to pivot. They created reusable pod kits, devices where you keep the battery and just swap out the plastic flavour pod. On paper, this sounds like a win for the environment, but in reality, it has created a manufactured wave of electronic waste. Why, you ask? Because of how these products are being distributed to your local shops. If you walk into a major vape shop, you can probably buy a refill pod easily. If you go to a local corner shop, a petrol station or a convenience store, many of them only stock the starter kits. They sell the battery, but they do not stock the replacement refills. Think about what that forces the consumer to do. When your pod runs out, you cannot buy a simple refill pack. The store clerk tells you the only option is to buy a completely new starter kit. Brand new device, brand new fully charged lithium battery inside. The industry didn't solve the disposable crisis, they just repackaged it. They're deliberately forcing consumers to treat rechargeable hardware as disposable junk. Fueled because the supply chains refuse to distribute the refills. It is the illusion of sustainability covering up a massive push for continuous retail profit. Think about how we handle food waste. Local councils didn't solve commercial food waste, private highly specialised contractors did. Companies stepped in, dropped dedicated bins to businesses, collected the organic waste in specialised vans, and turned into green energy. The exact same model could be applied to the lithium crisis. This is a massive, completely untapped market niche for a private waste contractor. Instead of trying to collect vapes from millions of residential doorsteps, a smart contractor goes straight to the businesses. They offer a business-to-business subscription model. They place highly secure, heavy-gauge steel collection bins inside corporate offices, supermarkets, schools, and shopping centres. These are Just ordinary plastic wheelie bins. They aren't fitted with internal temperature sensors, automatic fire suppression gas, and internal all things fill sensors. If a battery begins to overheat, the bin automatically smothers the fire before it even starts. When the bin is full, it alerts the contractor. The contractor doesn't use massive dust carts, they use small, agile vans, legally outfitted under the Class 9 Dangerous Goods regulation. They drive a tight, optimized route, swapping out sealed, fire-rated internal canisters in seconds, and this is how they turn a massive profit. They don't rely on selling the raw lithium. As we established, virgin lithium is still too cheap. Instead, the contractor goes directly to the producer. Compliance schemes. They say, we have the physical infrastructure, we have collected 10 tons of clean, uncontaminated lithium e-waste, here's our legal compliance rate. The contractor gets paid directly by the vape manufacturer's own legal funds to satisfy their corporate quotas. The shops get clean, vape bins, the compliance schemes hit their targets, the council's protected from catastrophic truck fires, and our environment is spared from the tidal wave of toxic chemicals. The lithium crisis won't be solved by a simple ban, and it won't be solved by waiting for overstretched councils to change their bin routes. It will be solved when we treat hazardous electronic waste not as household nuisance, but as a highly controlled, highly specialized private logistics loop. The opportunity is right in front of us. We just need to build the loop. But until the private contractors scale up and until the laws are fully enforced, the burden falls back on us. For the people watching this video, what can you actually do today to stop this crisis from exploding? It starts with changing how we view these devices. If you use vape, or if you have an old tech lying around the house, stop throwing them in the kitchen bin. Treat them with the respect you would give an explosive device. Because to a waste collector, that is exactly what they are. Do not rely on your council's curbside bin, instead make the conscious choice to dispose responsibly. Collect your dead vapes, your loose AA batteries and your old electronics in a box at home. Next time you go to a major supermarket, look for the dedicated battery recycling tubes. They are usually near the front doors or customer service desks. Don't see one, the manager. Remind them that under the waste batteries regulations, they are legally obliged to take them. Your voice forces these retailers to comply. We cannot stop the tech industry from manufacturing these batteries, but we can stop them from ending up in the back of a crushing mechanism or leaking toxic heavy metals into our soil. Take control of your own e-waste footprint. Find your local drop-off point, keep the lithium out of the trash, and help us close the loop. Thanks for watching. I've been Kenny the Vape and Heat. Until the next time, you all stay safe, vape safe. Remember, dispose your batteries and vapes responsibly. Keeps the government off your back, doesn't it? Thank you. Bye bye.